to the Black Mind Games podcast. This has been a fucking week for some people. Other people have just been sitting there drinking their own piss water.
Who's been doing that?
I don't know, Josh.
Look, I have Dr. Pepper in front of me. I'm not sure if that counts as piss water.
Piss water.
Is that piss water?
That's piss water.
Or about Dasani water? I have that in front of me too.
That's also piss water.
Oh, that's piss water. I didn't know.
I also have Dasani, so I'm drinking my own piss. We also have the beautiful and illustrious Ben, the only podcast host who has a permanent N-word pass, can say nipple whenever he wants.
Yep. Nipple,
but I don't.
You can't say nipple whenever you want?
Wait, you're the one that said I have the pass all the time. I just said I don't.
No. Okay.
I just like this dumb joke of like, all right, everyone say your N-words before the podcast starts. It's just everyone just goes Nepal, navel, nickel.
You're really pushing it with the nickel there.
Nicaragua.
You know, just censor nickel every time it comes up, and then that'll be it.
I have done that. I have done that joke.
Oh, that's a bit. That's a bit.
I have also censored it with the actual word.
Oh, somebody actually said the word? Oops, sorry, I slurped it in the mic. My bad.
No. There's a special version of the South Park thing where it's Randy playing Wheel of Fortune.
Oh yes.
Yes. And I went and found the clip of him saying the N-word live on national television.
Yep.
Because I'm a sick bastard.
Although it's weird, the clip that you got, it was just the one clip of it was sound depressing, and the other clip of it just sound disjointed. So it was just awkward every time you heard it.
No, I think I have it here.
Oh,
nope. No, I don't. No.
I'm kind of retarded.
I'm kind of retarded.
I'm kind of retarded. We have that too. But this week has been a hell of a week. Everything has gone tits up in about a span of a week. We had Helldivers. We had the Helldivers community winning. They won. Everyone was happy. And then immediately afterwards, we had the worst fucking bullshit ever to happen in all of gaming. Happen in the span, and it just was baffling. Like, it was really fucking baffling. Microsoft closed down 2 studios. Arcane Austin, who made Dishonored, Prey, Dishonored 2, Redfall. And then you had Tango Gameworks, which also got shut down, which made what was it? Made Evil Within 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and then they were pitching Hi-Fi Rush 2. And then you also had them close down Roadhouse, who didn't make anything. They got consolidated back into another studio. And then you had another studio get consolidated, which was, I believe, what was it? What was the other studio that got consolidated in? Aloy? It was another studio. It was the manufacturers of Mighty Doom. They got consolidated and fired. Everyone got fired. So you had a very questionable thing happen in the game industry. Immediately afterwards, you had Microsoft coming out and basically defending their decision, of course. And IGN basically wrote an article basically saying basically the same kind of thing. Then you had Tone Deaf comments. And you had Mother Tone Deaf comments. And yeah. Kind of disheartening this week, considering that we were told that in summertime the jobs would come back and people would be able to find work, and it's just kind of disheartening.
I also really hated this entire, like, it's just felt like no matter what a company does, feel like they're just gonna trip over their own dick. Like, it's just, you can't just let it be. You just have to fucking do your corporate management bullshit entirely, and to the point of like you're ruining something good. And in fact, even what was it, the Castle Super Beast pointed out, like, they said this before forever ago, and then they said it again, and that when you get bought out by Microsoft, just count the days until, like, you're just basically going like, all right, is it 2 years or 5 years we're gonna be closing doors? Like, you don't live on forever. You just end up being like, okay, we have the Death Note numbers above our head. Now we're gonna fucking have a death eventually. Like, it's just not good. Like, if you're getting bought up in Microsoft, be prepared for the fucking just be driven into the fucking ground. Like,
I don't want to sound cynical here and stuff like that, but like, I don't think that they're doing that really.
I think it's their management that can't seem to figure out their head from their asses.
I agree with that. Like, I think that they still have the problem with the Xbox One.
Yeah, like, it's just, I think a lot of the management is just really retarded and just don't know what they're doing. Like, they think this is a better idea, and it's like, no, you clearly don't, because this is such a misfire of every proportion. Like, Christ. And you can also tell that with the game, what was the Hi-Fi Rush, when that came out, like, that was a silent release, and there was like no advertising for it, and just the word of mouth saying like, no, this game's really good. It was actually a bit of a misfire on Microsoft's part, because they thought that game would be shitty, so they tried to do a fucking what was that movie?
They tried to do
to put it out there and go, oh, look how bad this is, we gotta, fold this company in, and turns out, no, this game's amazing.
It's worse than that. It's worse than that.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know why, but it just feels like as if they're like, well, why would we even bother to solve the problem? Like, why would we even do the job? Why would we even do this?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it really says something when you have a company that succeeds in making a video game and they do an actual really good job. And what ends up happening? Probably one of the best games of the year. And then the next fucking day, they come out and they say, we want more games like this. It's worse than what you're saying, Josh. It's a lot worse, because it shows a complete and total disconnect from what I think people are after. It shows a real big disconnect from the people who say, well, I want the best video game possible. I want my God of War. I want my Senna's Hellblade. I want my Skyrim, and I want all of these games. And then they come out and they're better and they're good and they're fantastic, but they don't ship consoles because you taught consumers in order to purchase Game Pass and not buy games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, clearly there's another option. Well, no, there isn't. It's just disheartening. It's upsetting. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? What the actual fuck are you doing there? Are you trying to make the game? Are you trying to make games that work? Or are you just, are you just dropping the ball? Like, do you actually care about, like, what people are doing, or do you just not care?
They probably just want IPs, to be honest.
Yeah, like actually,
there's nobody to make the IPs.
No. Here's the thing. I actually read this comment on somewhere of like, okay, tinfoil hat theory. They want to buy every single thing so they can control it, and no one can make shit. Like the most insane theory ever, but it makes sense. Like, I'll buy everything so no one can do shit about it. It's like, that's insane. But it's been the track record for what Microsoft is doing.
It just feels like as if they don't care.
Like, or that
it feels like as if they're just becoming Blizzard, Activision Blizzard.
Like,
where they're just going to be like, we ship Halo, Call of Duty. That's all we ship. Oh, we don't even need Halo anymore.
Oh, don't forget WoW. I mean, who plays that anyways?
Yeah, true.
Despite maybe like the boomers who fucking play that still. Oh, Frank, I couldn't even actually. You know what? I think everyone who plays a MMO is moving on to 14 now.
Well, Ben still plays Overwatch, so there's that.
You do?
Yeah, but not like it's hard to explain like why I do it. I just do, you know.
I see.
It's because one of my friends is like it's the only shooter he plays, and like sometimes it's nice to just have like a shooter that you just like turn your brain off and just have a little fun with.
If I were to play fucking the game, would I remember, like, can I still do half of my weird shit I used to do, or did that change immensely?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, can I still play Junkrat and still do the bullshit that he does?
Yeah, Junkrat literally hasn't changed. If anything, he's probably gotten better since you played him.
That's even better.
I don't know. I think that like the problem with
they got rid of that stupid, like, you gotta have 4 attack and 1 defense and 1 healer type of bullshit.
No, that's roll queue is still a thing.
Oh, god damn it.
There is open queue where you can play whatever, but it's balanced slightly differently than the regular game.
I see. That's just weird.
But yeah, roll queue is a thing. But instead of it 2 tanks, 2 healers, DPS, it's 1 tank, 2 DPS, 2 healers.
Just don't play fucking ranked. Just play quick play.
I mean, you can play open queue ranked.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Huh.
There's actually separate titles for open queue, so you can get like open queue like challenger, or like open queue plat, and then roll queue plat and roll queue challenger and that kind of shit.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, but of course then people dog on you if you get a good rank at open queue, because kind of open queue is way easier.
Oh.
Because the competitive people really aren't playing that, so it's a lot easier.
I mean, like, yeah, I'm really good with this character over here. I don't care.
Well, it's just like, it's because like people just pick 3 tanks and 2 healers, and then you win.
But yeah, no, it's just so fucking retarded right now. Where it's like, man. I keep remembering the Xbox 360 was a very good game that was very fun, and a lot of people enjoyed that console and had some of the best games of any console generation on it. And then you have this game, and then you have this shit happening, and you're like, what did they? Oh, they made Raidfall, right? That game, which should have just been Left 4 Dead with vampires.
Well, it's dead now. It's just dead. It'll never get fixed. Like, apparently they were literally working on it hours before they were shut down.
Yeah, they were.
Which is
part of me think
crazy.
Part of me thinks that this is a thing that came from on high, where they were like, "Oh, we spent how much on Activision Blizzard, and our console's doing how well? Fucking close the studio too." Tell you what, I'm gonna select them from the map, and then and then it's literally just like he goes, has a like bottle, you know, those spin a wheel of fortune things. He spins it, and it's like, okay, we're gonna shut down Tango GameWorks and Arcane. Okay, good. And like, of course, like the studios that like Bethesda are not on there. Bethesda Game Studios are not on there or hit with the layoffs at all. Or what's another? 343 is not getting closed, even though 343 is like one of the most. I don't want to say the worst company in the world, but they're definitely like really bad when it comes to like how they've handled Halo Infinite. For
Good
like
thing Bungie isn't part of Microsoft. Holy shit, they be cooked right now.
No. Microsoft would never lay off anybody from Bungie.
Bullshit, dude. The way Destiny's been going lately, dude, they'd fucking cook them in a heartbeat. They've been burning money if trying to make their new game, and just Destiny has been on a straight downward spiral. People have been so disillusioned with Destiny, dude. They're like not even fucking playing the game. So it's like not only that are their numbers down, they're fucking like stealth raising their fucking battle pass prices because they're so desperate for money to finish their new game. There's no way Microsoft wouldn't have cooked them like last year.
Freaking hell. I don't know. I just wish that CEOs weren't inherently evil and just want the bottom line to go upward. And
it's half the CEOs and half the investors. It's literally there's just like there's 7 dudes just chilling in a fucking boardroom. Like, you're not making us enough money. Do something about it. And they're like, but if we just wait a year, no, you're not making me enough money tomorrow. I need it in tomorrow. And they're like, but why?
No, I need it now.
And they're like, but I can make you like $1 billion in like a year. And they're like, well, that's unrealized. Yeah, you're literally doing it. You're literally doing it. Yeah. Because if they didn't care about short-term gain, so many more things could be better off and have long-term gains by creating a sustainable franchise. But they don't care about that. They only care about making money this fucking instant because they're fucking brain rotted from how much money they make all the time. It's so fucking dumb.
It's really dumb. Like,
it's because the type of people that rise to that position, they don't have the same morals that an average person does.
Yeah.
Somebody like you realize now how special Iwata was. Because Iwata
from the past CEO
Nintendo.
Okay.
You're like, because like I don't want to sound like that guy, but like there are things about him where you're like reading about like some of the things he did, and he's like, yeah, you know, the Wii U is doing really bad, but you know, I guess we should just, you know,
take a pay cut and do better.
Yeah, I guess we got to take a pay cut and do better. And you're like, okay. And it's like at the end of the day, like the one thing I'm seeing that's always consistent with all of these layoffs is like, I'm like, oh, is the bonus going up? Oh, is the bonus going up?
That's the other thing, is that the top end people get more money, and then they cut the lower end to give the CEO more money. It's like, but why? Yeah. You're actively losing the company money. You're actively harming your brand. But we're giving you more money for the decisions you're making. Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's, oh my God, dude.
It would have been so good if, when all of this started happening, the first thing the Embracer CEO did was he said, I fucked up. I made a horrible mistake. I went on an acquisition spree, and I'm going to try my best, my damnedest, to make sure that every single studio under my control remains open.
They don't care. They don't care about those people.
Well,
the only thing they care about is the money they make.
Clearly. It's just to the point now where you're like, it's like, oh, this is literally a mask off moment. Like, why the fuck would anyone give a shit?
Yep. This is just disappointing all around. Of like, man, you could tell like, oh, they don't give a fuck in the slightest of, you know, integrity of anything. And it's just like, man, God, fucking humans suck.
And it wouldn't hurt as bad if it was. It wouldn't hurt so much if it wasn't like you're looking at like Evil Within. If Hi-Fi Rush stopped.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It wouldn't hurt if it was like the majority of Bethesda took the layoffs.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's the fact that it's like, I understand Arcane, great company, wonderful studio, full of great and awesome people. Hey, nobody deserves that happening to them. But you're the ones who didn't push back enough when you were making Redfall. And when that game came out, you knew the timeline of when it was being released.
I don't think that. Okay, so I think the problem is that again, there's like the devs and then the higher ups. I feel like the devs probably were screaming like, "Dude, this game is not ready, and we're not making a good game." But the higher ups were like, "We don't have time for that. We need to push the game because we don't have the money anymore."
Yeah. Or hell, even the devs are like, this game sucks ass. We don't want to make this thing, and they're forced to do it anyways.
Yeah, because they can't just scrap it and start something else because they've already made promises, they've already made trailers. Mm-hmm. You know, it's too late now. So it's just like, well, how do we fix it? And they're like, well, we need another like 5 years. And they're like, well, you don't have 5 years. You have 8 months,
6 months.
Deal. And they're like, we can't. There's nothing that we can do in 6 months that's going to change anything. It's like, well, we have to push a product because that's what our corporate overlords demand.
Yeah, I think it'd be funny if
and it doesn't matter how much pushback they give because there's just no amount of pushback that's going to change that.
I think it'd be funny if they were like, you got 8 months, you got 5 months, you got 2 months, you got now, right now,
basically.
Yeah. But the other thing too is like the other issue that like angers me so much about this is like Tango Gameworks did nothing wrong. Tango Gameworks. Why? I understand shutting them down on a kind of a business perspective. If the only game that they had that is critically acclaimed is Hi-Fi Rush, but why did you not just like take that team aside and go, okay, we're sectioning off this team and we're moving it over. We're opening up a new studio
because clearly they didn't have the money to even do that. That's why they closed them.
Like that's the thing, right? Is like the other thing too is like then you have the head of Xbox, who isn't Phil Spencer, doing a video, and she's talking about closing down studios, and she's like, yeah, nobody really likes this is saying a bunch of word garbage, and you have a producer cut, and literally camera pans up, and it shows Microsoft's gross revenue year over year. It's like you're telling me that you can't fucking afford to keep a studio open. And then you make a brain dead comment about like, well, we need more games like Hi-Fi Rush. It's like, are you fucking retarded? Are you fucking wow?
It's like you could have actually made more. You said no.
Like I understand the opinion of Microsoft when it's like video games now, like the video games that get all of the attention and praise are literally games that are just interactive movies.
Yep.
I understand that. I understand that when you think that like I think God of War is a really good game. Do I want to play God of War every 15 minutes? No. Do I want every game to be like God of War? No.
I think they've forgot. I think that they haven't realized that the oversaturation is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just too many games, and everybody's vying for everybody's time. And the games that are kind of succeeding right now, like a lot of like really succeeding, are the ones that you can pick up, play for 20 hours, and then put down. And like I feel like Hades is going to do really well because it's going to be one of those games you can put 90 hours into, but you can also put 20 hours into and just be done with it,
Well, Hades has its own separate controversies, let's be honest.
Which are all actually fucking stupid as well.
Yes, the game that literally has black disabled gods.
Oh god, dude! Who gives a fuck about that shit, dude? Like, I get that there's like a bit of like immersion or whatever, like there's a bit of an emergent break with like the fact that it's Greek gods, but they're all like there's an Asian one, and then there's like a black one.
At a certain point, I was looking at them like, this feels like they just went through the checklist and were like, okay, we got this one, we got this one, we got this one.
If you're a god that you can do fucking anything, you could probably change your appearance too.
Yeah, I mean, I can also see, depending on how like the lore literally is, it could just be a different interpretation upon like their vision of themselves are different or something. I don't fucking know, man. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the thing is, the real controversy that pisses me off about it is the fucking dick sucking that Aphrodite's got. And they're like, she's so amazing. And
the character with a literal man face.
And then, like, she's the safe horny that you're allowed to be horny over. And it's like, but you can't be for Stellar Blade. It's like they have such a huge hate for younger characters and hot women that are Asian.
Hold on. I'm just looking something up. Goddess Ragnarok. There's the best Aphrodite interpretation ever of all time. And it's Aphrodite, and her boobs are massive.
Oh, from the fighting game, the fighting one, where it's like a huge tournament arc. Yeah. They literally have a pair of guys that hold her tits up.
Yes, it's literally the best. It's the best interpretation of that character.
Oh yeah, I'm sure if those mainstream people saw them, they would not be happy with that. They would not be happy with that depiction of Aphrodite because she's a white woman with giant titties and she's hot. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. Is that Aphrodite isn't generically hot or whatever, so they're not upset about it, and that's why they say that it's okay. But because the Stellar Blade character is Asian for one, and two is generically hot, they're upset about it.
Like my issue is like I just feel like as if what they're doing, what Supergiant's doing, isn't like my issue is like it just feels like as if they're tokenizing it. They're doing a checklist thing. That's literally my issue. It's like it feels like as if do we have an Asian disabled person? No? Okay, well we have to make that one. Which god will fit that? I know Hermes. Hermes will fit that one. Okay, cool. Like it just doesn't feel organic per se. When I'm looking at something and I'm like, what? Why? Why are like 2/3 of them disabled? Like, what the fuck? And like then and then you have the game journalists being like all thirsty over like Aphrodite, and you're like, dude, that image isn't even that hot. It's just kind of generic. I think the word is. It just looks. It looks worse than Hades' ones, Aphrodite. If I'm honest, if that makes sense, it's just general.
Huh. Is there a version of Aphrodite's from one? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very similar. Oh, here you go. I gotta love artists doing the fixing.
So I think they fucked up, but this is Aphrodite in the first one.
Did you put it in the podcast thing?
Topic list. Yep. So the top one is Aphrodite from the first one. And you can see kind of the same kind of thing where it's like goddess of love has a spear of heart. And then, but it'll just, that's really good art. Okay. And then you look at the second one and it's just like, what did you do? Like, why did you do this?
Well, actually, if you think about it, the second one is probably more in line with standard Greek views of beauty because they had women that were a little like plumper then in their like statues and art. So, I mean, I don't see that much of a difference besides the fact that they did that and then they changed the art style just like a little bit.
Look at the face.
Yeah, I mean, it's more androgynous, but that's about it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm talking about.
But I feel like that's also like the point of the character. I think Aphrodite is supposed to be so beautiful that literally everybody that she would end up moderately androgynous towards in general, because she was supposed to be attractive to literally everybody of every sex. So she would probably end up that way.
Okay, fair enough.
That's just like my headcanon, I guess, if you think about it, you know?
That makes sense.
Because I feel like that's just the interpretation of like the goddess of beauty to me, is that she would just be perfectly beautiful to every person. So no matter how you looked at her from a beauty standpoint, she would be androgynous and or just generally attractive. And that's kind of what she is. She's just generally attractive.
Yes,
fair enough. I just feel like as if like I look at that character and I'm like, I get the controversy. I don't understand why this is the thing that you're standing, why this is the throne that people are standing on and going, this is allowed, like you're allowed to lust over this. And it's like, yeah, but Stellar Blade has a hotter girl who's based on a real model who actually looks really hot, who literally fills every single guy's dream.
And I think that's why, because it's for men.
Yeah. And it's like the character's literally designed by a woman. Like, you go through the checklist, it's the same exact thing where it's like, character's literally designed for a woman. Are there some things that are like kind of like, why the fuck are you doing this in Stellar Blade? Yeah, absolutely. The breast physics are like one of the most insane fucking things I've ever fucking seen in a video game. Holy fuck, dude. They're crazy. But like, at the same time, I'm looking at this and I'm like, but why? Like, why is this allowed? And this character, who's mostly covered for 95% of the game, not allowed. And it's like I get it, the ideology reason, but at the same time, it's like at some point you have to think and go, maybe we are the bad guys. Because
remember the woman on the React channel, we're reacting to GTA, she's saying this is why I hate video games. They appeal to the male fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's the journalism to a T. That's literally all of them. They're literally all of them. That woman right there.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Video games.
That's why you just wait for the mods to make everybody hot like they do in Baldur's Gate. Although I love that I came across an article the other day that I'm talking about why is there so many mods for Lizelle to make her conventionally attractive, and it's like because people like her character and want her to be hot. And I'm sorry that being an alien creature with a flat nose is not sexually attractive to a human. Although granted, you should look at Mass Effect to the people that they want to fuck in that.
Yeah, you know what? Funny enough, I was looking at all the aliens. I'd be like, I would totally be down to do it just because why not? It turns out the ones that look the most human, I'm like, I don't know. But the ones that are like just freak shows, I'm like, yeah. I'm entertained. I'm excited. I want to see
you don't like Liara?
Huh?
You don't like Liara?
I mean, she's blue, and I agree, she's hot, but I'm like, I don't know.
And she has the weird head thing going on.
Yeah, but not weird enough.
It's not weird enough. So yeah. the female Turian is what you're after?
Yeah. Let's go. You're going to kill me, but let's go.
That's true. That is true. The lore is their fluids will kill you.
Yeah,
what Turian?
There's a scene with Morden or whatever in Mass Effect 2 where if you romance Garrus, he's like, yeah, don't ingest anything from Garrus, you will die.
Yep. And in fact, if you're going to do the coitus, come straight to me afterwards, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, I think that's the summary of it. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Look, Shepard, I'm just going to be honest with you. Don't do it.
I also love with Tally when he was like, here's like a cocktail of fucking antidepressants and immunosuppressants for you so you don't fucking kill her too.
Yep.
Yep.
What's the jellyfish race from that game again? It's sorry. Hanar. Also, that being depicted as sexy too is like, that's hilarious, but at the same time, I don't even know how you would start. But okay.
Oh God, there's a random like audio clip on the Citadel of the not Hanar, but the big dudes, the ones that like say their emotions before they do something. There's a soap opera of that, and you hear like some of the text. There's some of the lines from it, and it's like trying to be like romantic and shit, and it's just like, but it's in this super monotone, deep voice. It's just like, with sexual arousal, and then they say the line, and it's just like, Jesus Christ,
like the most
best character.
I mean, when you're extreme deadpan and you can't show your emotions properly, it's understandable.
Well, apparently,
thank you for showing me that 2 nukes were clearly not enough to be dropped in this world. We clearly needed 3.
They don't. Apparently, they're psychic race. They communicate telepathically, so they convey emotions through telepathy and through other means, which is really funny. But they explain in the first one when you talk to the guy in the council chamber, he's like, yeah, we communicate our emotions telepathically and we speak telepathically, so explaining it, so talking to other races, it's hard for us to do emotional tones in voice.
It would have been cooler. Wasn't it that they also like communicated via like, I think it was
sense and stuff too?
Yeah.
Complicated and weird.
I think the Volus actually are the ones that do it through primarily scent, and that's why they have to wear the suits.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Oh yeah, there was this weird little dumpy suit guys too.
That's the Volus.
Yeah. I always wonder what the hell they look like. They're such dumpy little dudes, but I'm like, man, what the hell do you look like? Like every time. Especially that one little dumpy dude from the 3rd game? I think it's the 3rd game. He's convinced he's a god and he's gonna fucking kill him, like a bunch of people in front of you, and you have a choice to either let him do it or you go, nah, dude, I got this. You can hang back. Like,
yeah, he's so high on drugs that he's just like, I am a biotic god. And he's like flexing like biotic power in front of you, and you're like, charge.
Oh, frick.
Dude, I love some of the gags in Mass Effect. They're so good.
I think the best. Well, it's not even a gag. It's just that they had an oversight on that game because they're fucking crunched to shit on it. Was the this is the best shop on the Citadel.
Oh yeah, that was a great one.
Because like you could do that to every shop, and you get the deal on every shop. It's like
in 3, when you come back to life, there's a scene where they're talking, where there's a Shepard, a virtual assistant, and they were like saying that like, oh, they were selling your likeness after you died or whatever, and it was the only legal way to do it. But now that he's back, he was like, now that you're back, I guess we'll have to stop using it. It's like, but apparently it's like glitched and it's stuck on telling me that I have to fight the Reapers all the time. And then sometimes you hear it in the background of just like saying like the catchphrases from like the other series and like a joke, like the one of them was like, this is my my favorite spot on the Citadel, and that kind of stuff. It's always different. It's funny. So good.
Mass Effect is a good game. Do we have anything else to talk about this week though?
I did play a video game, believe it or not.
Was it Stellar Blade?
No.
It wasn't Stellar. Or was it Baldur's Gate?
No.
Was it Helldivers?
No.
Was it Gears of War?
No.
What was the? Was it Child of Light?
Is it
Metal Hellsinger?
Is it an indie game?
It's a weird. Actually, it's an indie. I don't even know at this point. Metal Hellsinger. So there's so when people try to mix a rhythm game with another video game, you usually get something kind of special. And this time someone mixed rhythm game with first person shooter. And then you go, how in the hell does that work? Well, you know how in was it Rhythm Dungeon? Oh shit. I have it on Steam and I forget the name of it.
So do I.
Freaking
BPX, bullets per minute.
That's the first one that came out that's like this, where you have basically your cursor and you have everything like an FPS, but the cursor in your center of the screen with bars coming down to where the circle is, and you have to time your shots with the bars in order to basically, dance revolution to like get as close as you can to get perfects. And if you get perfects, usually you get bonuses of killing the monsters faster, or you get more points, or you get more multiplier going, and you get your specials on your guns, which is your alternate fire, and then that can also kill a lot of the monsters and give you more points, and like a bunch of points multiplication going on. And Metal Hellsinger, I would say, is just slightly better than the FPS game that you mentioned, because all the songs, like almost every song you play through in this game, have been done by famous metal singers and or bands that they got for the soundtrack for the whole game. So it's like,
you have piqued my interest. You had my curiosity. Now you have my interest.
Every single song, I kid you not, I think it has at least a famous singer and or band accompany the track. And it's like, you can really tell, because damn, you can like hear the singer. And also it's like, this feels amazing once you get the multiplier to, what was it? It's a 16 multiplier? Once you get it up there, it's like, you start hearing the vocals kick in. You're like, and you're doing perfects, and you're like, and you're hitting your reload perfectly. So your special meter is going up, and you're like, you're fucking in there. You're killing so many demons as you're doing it. And you're like, yeah.
Demons must die.
Shame I'm dog shit at rhythm games.
Yeah.
I have no rhythm. It is ironic, for I am a black man and I have zero rhythm.
You still need to play through all of Hi-Fi Rush.
I can't. I told you this.
I will say, if you do decide to check this game out or play a demo or whatever, there is a very low difficulty slider. The slider goes from like it's really hard and you're professional at it to like play the game and have fun. So you can just like try that out and see if it's your cup of tea. And like it is a bit of rubbing, kind of that rub your head, pat your belly technique of like, I'm not sure if I can handle both shooting demons, running around while paying attention to the rhythm and shooting at stuff. But it's like, what? I think if you just keep trying at it, you'll get good at it. Like, just keep going.
I started to figure it out with Hi-Fi Rush, because one of the biggest things that Hi-Fi Rush did to help with the whole rhythm and fighting thing is that when you're walking around, he's constantly like snapping his fingers and like making the motions to like the beat, and like the whole world itself is also flexing to the beat. So like even if like you're like me, where I'm fucking so severely like have such a bad rhythm that if you just use your eyeballs, you can kind of get it. And I was starting to get it when I was playing it. I only played it for like an hour. But the problem was for me is that my fucking headset is stupid, and it was overriding my EQ settings, and it sounded like garbage. And I hated it. And because it was overriding my EQ settings, it was also not quite getting solid FPS. And I've actually managed to figure out what setting was ruining that, so I probably would be able to fix it now. So because I wasn't getting a consistent flat 60 FPS, the actual visual rhythm of the game was getting fucked up.
So Hi-Fi Rush is one of the only games that I actually played with my Xbox all the way through. Like, that is the way that you play that game, is on your Xbox.
I don't have an Xbox.
Yes, so, see, that's the problem, is that somebody needs to go down to the States, either move there, and then ship you an Xbox for, like, 6 months to a year.
Or
and
just get on Steam.
No, we can't. We went over this, Josh. We can't do that. Ship you an Xbox, and then have you ship it back to them when you're done.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah. See, that's too much work.
No, it's just It's just too late. I'm too uninterested in it at this point. I tried it and I've had to fight with my computer to get it working, and now I just don't feel like dealing with it anymore.
And now we just need to. Well, then we just need to do the best thing.
Buy me a whole new computer and a new headset.
No.
Here's your new computer.
Yes, maybe. That would be funny. Is like all of a sudden I just randomly show up one day. Ben, I got you something. It's PC parts. Now we're building.
Actually, you know what's funny? I did the benchmark test on my computer, and it gave me like really good ratings, like nuclear submarine and UFO. So it's a good computer.
It's probably just your GPU that needs to just be replaced because it's an AMD. Not that I think that AMD's bad or anything like that.
I don't know what it is, honestly, because like I said, I got really good ratings, and when I get the settings right, games run great. But it's just I need the struggle.
Is it just like a BIOS thing or something?
Maybe maybe I need to update my BIOS.
So every other time someone says like, I don't know what's wrong with my computer, I did this, I'm blankety blank, and I'm like, try a BIOS update, because I had a weird problem with my computer. Did a BIOS update, it just magically disappeared. I was like, oh, okay, that could usually solve
one of the problems. I don't really know how to do that.
It's not hard.
I guess.
Yeah, just follow a YouTube tutorial and then you go realize, oh, it's not that hard. I'm like, it really isn't.
It's like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe one day I'll try it.
Yeah. The other thing too is like, we got to be honest, is like just everything. Just as somebody who is a PC tech person, yeah, PCs are pain. It's the worst gaming console on the planet Earth.
Yeah, some people it just works for it. Some people it just doesn't.
Like here's the thing: it's for Beast Mark 2, it is so less temperamental than Beast Mark 1, but it's also the third computer I built, and then I'm like, oh, when I build Beast Mark 4 or Mark 3, I want it to be the same kind of rig. I want it to be a very similar rig, and I'm just like, money, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucks. Life sucks. Everything sucks. So yeah.
Yep. Anyway, Metal Hellsinger. I recommend Heavy Metal Singer. Metal Hellsinger. That's the title. Metal Hellsinger. I highly recommend it because, man, there's a lot of care that went in for the music, and a lot of like, oh wow, they got this famous guy from this band, they got this other famous person from this band to make tracks for the game. It's just amazing. Also, once you get into it, you just start realizing, you're just like, oh, I feel it, the music through me, and I'm killing these demons, and it's amazing. I think it's probably not as high polish as like Hi-Fi Rush, I would say, but at the same time, like if you can get it, and like again, the visual indicator is always dead center on your cursor where you're shooting from, so therefore you're always seeing the bars going across the screen. It's not hard to do to like, you know, shoot shit on timing. I would say like if you like rhythm games and you like, you know, a game that's kind of Doom-esque, and you like heavy metal music, I highly suggest the Metal Hellsinger. It's real good, real good,
real good.
It's real good. It has a recent reviews is very positive, and the overall reviews is overwhelmingly positive. So it's a good buy. Goodbye.
I wishlisted it, so maybe one day.
Although apparently I'm looking at the DLC for the game right now. I have all the DLC somehow. I must have bought buy the complete edition or some shit when it's on sale. I didn't realize I did. So, I don't think I've touched that content yet, but still, like, the game's cool. Like, it's great. It's great. It's amazing. I don't know.
You good, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm going slightly insane.
Oh no.
What has tickled your insanity now?
Sorry. There you go.
Oh, where is it? Oh, I gotta click on the link. How dare you? Are you wearing underwear?
Are you wearing underwear?
Oh, this guy that makes them in the songs.
Where?
That is so long.
Dude, it's the funniest shit on the planet.
It's a song about not wearing someone else's underwear.
But anyways, Josh, I'm happy that you like your game.
Yeah, it's a cool game. Like, again, like it has famous metal artists on it, and it fucking made that game even better.
Yeah. Ben, have you played? We played the same game. I know.
What other games have I played? Well, I played V Rising. The 1.0 update was this week.
The heck game is that? I gotta Google it now.
It was the game that came out. It was the game that came out that everyone was like, oh god, and it was like had like 15 minutes of surprise, and everyone was so excited and happy. And I think it came out like the same week of a release, and it just utterly dominated the sales charts.
Yeah, they released at the same time as something else, or around something else. Actually, I think they were going to do a release around Elden Ring, I think it was, and they were like, "We're going to delay this a week."
Yeah, it was released right around the time of Elden Ring, and I think that Elden Ring came out the same time, and then everyone was like, "Hey, Elden Ring is a really good game," and then V Rising came out, and I think it actually did about as well as Elden Ring did, and it was just like as popular.
Yeah, it did do really well. Well, their 1.0 release came out. They added a literal whole nother act worth of bosses, reworked an entire zone, and had their Castlevania crossover, which was mostly free. The only thing that they monetized was the cosmetic stuff, but basically all of the in-game stuff, like you can fight Richter Belmont and use the whip in-game as a weapon, all for free. And you actually get the whip without having to fight Richter, so you can get a fairly like the mid game, like the middle, or like not mid game. It's early mid game, because there's like they added a whole other tier of armor and stuff. Though that's also what they did. They added more gear variety and more like customization to your character, so that's kind of cool. Basically, like the game is incredibly fresh and incredibly different from the last time they updated. They only have done one other major update besides that, which is the Gloomrot update, which is where they added their other zone. They redid their spells and like armor in that one as well. So it's kind of crazy how much they change every time.
That's a game I regret not picking up.
I mean, it's not a full price game still. I think it's still only $40. So even though you haven't picked it up, like while it was in EA, there's no downside to picking it up later. Because like only the deluxe edition stuff is like, and it's still there, so you can still buy it if you really like it. Or it's like the only real stuff that they kind of pushed during EA. But I mean, pretty much everything major was free.
I mean, to be fair, like that game came out around the same time that like gaming was actually, there were things that to actually be excited about and look forward to.
Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff coming out around then. So it was really flooded.
And then 2023 happened, and I think that like that year was like again just full of bangers, and you were like, oh, like this game came out. Oh, this game came out. Oh, this game came out. Oh, this game came out. And every single time I was just like, man, 2023 is a really good year for games. Minus like maybe like 4% of like maybe one or two things from like the night.
Yeah, it's crazy what happens when people can stay home and they can be happy and make games.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like this year has just been like, it's good that
being forced to go back to work and even more terrible shit.
And like, it's really funny because like that game is like one of those high spots of like this year where it's like, hey, that's actually a half decent like changeover. Where like the entirety of the game coming out actually is like something positive to actually be excited about. And it's like, hey, like for people like you who picked up the game, like you've had it for years, but for somebody like me, it's like the Baldur's Gate situation where it's like, oh, I wasn't going to pick this up in early access anyways. Because I don't like playing a beta tester or anything like that for video games.
Well, I didn't pick up Baldur's Gate until it was going out of EA, like when they announced they were going into their full release. And I didn't pick it up in the EA. I picked it up right at the end. So I got like kind of that moment of like, all right, here's where we're at. And then it went to the new shit. And then it was like, oh, and here we are. And I'm like, holy shit, this is kind of nutty. But I mean, from playing V Rising from the start, I feel like I don't mind it. I feel like I played 3 different games because of how much it changed. And I think that was one of the best EA games I've probably played.
Fair enough.
I don't think there's many that I've bought that I've been upset with. Like Oxygen Not Included, I bought in EA and that was pretty good.
Last Bell.
What?
Last Bell.
Last Bell.
Last Bell. The Last Bell.
The Last Spell. I thought you said the Last Bell. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah. You know, I bought the Last Spell. I think I actually bought that one right as it was coming out of EA. I only maybe had it for a couple months while it was in EA. I didn't have it for that long. Honestly, one of the games I do regret buying in EA is Ark Survival Evolved.
Yeah, that game a lot of people do.
It was good at first, but its performance issues were too shit and too bad for me to ever get over.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I looked at the title, like the game title and the artwork, I go, I don't know. This feels like one of those games you peruse on the Steam store page, and you look at it and go, "Is this made by like one guy?" Like kind of knockoff
the thing
deal?
is when you've looked at the other game they made, the pirate game, you then realize that it's actually just an asset game. It's not an actual game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like just everything about it just felt like, oh, this feels like a game flip.
And in a way, it kind of was.
I think that's what it was initially designed as.
Yeah, because I feel like it was just adding dinosaurs that they were getting off of the store and then coding to like run around and do stuff. And then like the UI was asset flipped, and I don't know, man. There was a lot of stuff that was just like, when you turn around and look at it and then like you see their pirate game and how bad that went, you just like, damn, dude, actually maybe this was just a fucking piece of shit. And the fact that they can't get their 2 out still is just like screams like, what are you doing?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
What are you making? Bullshit.
There's only 2. I think there's only 2 games that I super regret ever actually buying that were complete, and that was Evolved and there was, I think it was a fight. Oh, it was Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Makes sense.
Well, I bought Dragon Ball FighterZ to play with somebody, and then they didn't play, and so I just had a game that I had 40 minutes on.
I have that game too, so like I can't talk.
Yeah, I have it. I'm not sure how much time I put into it.
Wait, you guys both have that game, really?
Yes, I own that game. Sure. That is one game that like I booted up once, and I think I was like, I intend to play this with somebody, and then I never played it.
Oh, Dragon Ball FighterZ. I do have that.
Do we boot it up and play with each other?
Yes.
Yes.
Just so we get our money's worth out of it?
Dragon Ball FighterZ. Yes, we're gonna boot up Dragon Ball FighterZ. I own too many fucking games that like I will never touch.
Yeah, I think there might have been another one recently that I did also kind of regret, but I usually keep my game purchases pretty strict, and I don't regret most of them. Some of them have updated into stuff that I don't like anymore. That I stopped playing them, like Path of Exile kind of has in a way.
I also own too many. I also put in way too much hours into Halo Infinite. Holy fuck!
Wow, they put
You keep doing it too. It's literally your Halo and I'm Overwatch.
I have 409 hours. 409.6.
In Dragon Ball Fighter Z, did you know that they put Master Roshi in there?
Yes.
Yeah. I want to buy one. Okay, the thing is, if I ever actually got into Dragon Ball Fighters, I would buy Broly, the Super Broly, just because I fucking love Super Broly. He's one of my favorite characters. But I can't justify it because I don't play the fucking game.
Yeah.
We all know the best character though is just Trunks.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Android 21, and I was about to be like, yeah, of course you would.
Jaren's the best. Come on.
No, Android 21 is not the best. Is Android 21 the girl?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, no, she's not the best one.
I'm surprised Gina Bug got in.
Nobody. Android 21 is literally just the worst.
Videl is DLC? I didn't know that.
Gochita is a character.
Which one?
Yes.
Goku, the good Gochita.
Yeah. I know. I'm asking which one. Are you talking about Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta?
Oh, it's blue hair.
Then
let me pull
okay. Because there's two of them. There's Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and there's also Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta.
Oh god, there's two versions.
Yeah, there's also Vegito Super Saiyan Blue. I think there's also Gogeta Super Saiyan. There's not.
There's Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, yes, Goku and Vegeta. Then you also have Bardock.
Cooler.
Broly.
Yeah, that's Z Broly, not Super Broly.
Goku.
Obviously, that's GT Goku.
Just have you just have regular ass Goku.
Yeah, GT Goku is the kid Goku where he goes Super Saiyan 4.
No. This is literally there's Goku.
Oh,
Vegeta.
base Goku. Yeah. Where it's the beginning Dragon Ball Z Goku, where he doesn't have Super Saiyan. He only has Kaioken.
Android 17. Cooler. Then you have Videl.
Mm-hmm.
Jiren.
Yep.
Goku GT.
Yep.
Janemba. Gogeta. Super Saiyan God. Broly, DBS.
Yes. Which is the one that I want.
Kefla. You have Goku Ultra Instinct. Master Roshi.
There's like 5 Gokus. It's hilarious.
Yeah, there's Goku Master Instinct. Master Roshi, Super Baby 2, Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4, Android 21 Lab Coat.
Yeah.
She turns into her own version of Majin Buu.
Well, no, the lab coat version is like the good version of 21. The 21 Majin is the villain from the story.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. That's what that is. Because I was like, man, this character's hot.
a lot of that game is just pretty good.
Yeah, I think Android 21 is supposed to be Dr. Jiro's wife turned into an android, but not also his wife because she has a different personality.
Pretty much.
Huh.
And then she becomes a Majin and then is evil.
Turns into a real woman.
I'm a real woman.
Turns to a Majin and then turns evil. Mm-hmm. Although, here's the thing. The Labco version, hot. Turns to a Majin, probably even hotter.
We know what Josh is into. It's because she has a tail, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe it's the costume. It's just the costume from Aduna for me.
God help me if I ever send Josh boobs.
No, no, you just be like, oh, here, I know what Josh likes. You just send me a freaking like, I don't know, a dancer,
crazy alien or a furry, because he's into Pokemon too.
Josh would totally be like the Joker.
I got a little bunny, Batman.
I got a little bunny, Batman.
I got a little bunny, Batman.
There's no laws against Pokemon, Batman.
There's no laws against Pokemon, Batman. I can do whatever I want.
And I love
including have tea parties, Batman.
I love how at every time I see an animated version of that stupid voice lines, they always show Joker doing a swanton dive into the fucking bunny like every time.
The only way it would be better is if like they did Harley Quinn. They did that with like Harley Quinn too on the bed. That's the only way it could get any better.
Oh boy!
No, the little bunny is be cosplaying Harley Quinn.
Yes. Yes.
So, yes. Sorry, my degeneracy must have failed that, Ben.
It did.
I don't know. I personally am just like one of those things where it's like,
It's because she's not black.
What?
You're just into black women, remember?
A little bit.
Did you like the picture I sent you earlier?
Yeah, it was a pretty good picture. It was a pretty nice picture.
The blackest black woman in existence.
She's literally darker. That is dude. I'm gonna be honest. Like, if I was dating that person, it would be the funniest thing in the world. So I'd be like dating her, and she would be like, I'd be like, yes, I'm dating literally the darkest ghost in the world.
You mean the Void? My girlfriend's the Void. And they're like, what are you talking about?
Imagine waking up at night and seeing her walk into the room, and you're just like, you just see her eyes.
Oh my God. Okay.
You're just like,
I gotta find this gift for you. There you go.
It's like, am I having a sleep paralysis nightmare? What the fuck's going on? Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, it's exactly like that. Just you see that and you're just like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
And then like you see the silhouette of the boobs and you're like, oh.
Hi, honey. Anyways, I still need to watch the Great Digital Circus.
Oh, you didn't watch the second episode yet? You said you don't know about Gummy Goo?
No, I don't. But I have been watching the roast of Tom Brady.
Oh God, yeah.
The internet is exploding over Gummy Goo, though.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's funny because there's two versions of Gummy Goo. There's it's the funny alligator who's made a gummy character, or sex.
Yeah, true. True. It is the two sides of the internet. There's the horny and then the people that just love Gummy Goo because Gummy Goo is cute.
Yep. Just like, oh, it's just a gummy character, gummy guy, Australian, perfect, and then sex. Just a lot of sex.
I just want copious amount. I just want to be cream pied by like a gummy bear.
Actually, he's a marshmallow gummy bear.
I want to be cream pied by a marshmallow gummy bear.
I love I just love that I was like when I was watching it, right? Because I hadn't seen anything of it. I think I watched it like the day of. I noticed the next day after it came out, so there wasn't like anything going on about the internet. I just kind of was like, oh, Digital Circus, it's a new episode. All right, I'll watch it. So I watched it, and then the scene at the end, it was just, I think I paused it and died laughing so hard that I think it was like 3 minutes before I could start watching it again.
Yeah, there's a lot of good like visual gags in that whole thing. I think the best visual gag.
It was just the absolute like timing and like the way that it happened. It was just the funniest shit ever.
I think the one I liked is Pomni catch pump. Just bounces off her head. Her expression does not change whatsoever.
Yep.
I definitely need to watch that episode.
I also love the reference to they want to order, and it's just he puts his head on his back. Just rests his shit on his back as he's driving down the road.
Okay, maybe I'll watch that episode later. But anyways, the actual thing I was going to bring up. Yeah, people should watch that roast because it's basically it's like one of the best roasts ever. And if you ever watched roasts before, you'll probably enjoy it. Because basically you're watching a bunch of people get making fun of Tom Brady, which is the funniest shit in the world. Because every single time
I kind of don't care about Tom Brady, so...
Do you enjoy watching a celebrity get torn down by a bunch of people who hate him?
Doesn't matter to me.
Do you want to watch somebody? Do you want to watch somebody get constantly have their ex-wife rubbed in their face constantly?
Does he cry?
Oh, there's some scenes where it like looks like he's like about to like be like, oh man, and there's a scene where he gets up and he's like, don't you ever fucking say that, and it's referring to him actually like walking up to the owners of the Patriots and saying getting on his knees and stuff like that. So it's like it's that old school like 2014 2013 comedy where you're like you were watching it and you're like, oh this is hilarious. And yeah, that's what I also watched. This week I'm also planning on watching Unfrosted, the Jerry Seinfeld movie.
Oh,
so
isn't Jerry Seinfeld like a actual kind of dick?
I mean, he's always have been a dick, hasn't he?
Yes. He also came out against one of the.
He hates gay people.
No, he came out against woke people recently.
I mean, so whatever.
Like it was one of those things where he like somebody goes like, "Oh well, like like don't you think that a lot of your characters are like white?" And he goes, "Yes, that's the problem. The whiteys are the problem." Totally. That was the recent controversy that he was in. But other than that, no, he hasn't had any problems other than like.
I mean, it's funny that he's like he has a problem with wokeness, but I'm like, you're also part of the woke problem. It's just a funny pointing it like he's doing this, but he's also part of it. Like it's kind of this weird catch-22.
How is Jerry Seinfeld part of the woke problem?
Because I don't know, he points it out and complains about it, and then you're like, you're kind of in that circle, like not in the circle, but it's like because you're complaining about it, you're like now you make it more of a problem. Mm-hmm. That's my idea. Yes.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I quite frankly, I enjoyed watching Tom Brady get compared to Hitler.
Yeah, I mean, I watched part of that roast too.
Yeah,
and fuck, it's some of it's brutal.
I can't wait for the one where I can't wait until I get to the point where Kill Tony comes on, because he just goes for it, and that was the clip that was going viral where it's like Kill Tony calling fucking Kim Kardashian a fucking bitch, and he's like calling her out and all this sort of stuff. They had Belichick come out. They had Ron Burgundy come out. It's amazing.
I think you keep saying these names, and I don't know any of them. I don't follow celebrity culture at all. I do literally these people I could care less about.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't. Well, I don't know what the correct term is, but honestly, they don't mean anything to me. I just kind of like some people in some movies and some voice acting stuff, and that's all that I care about.
Yeah.
Except Christopher Sabat, he can go fuck himself.
Sure. By the way, I hope you enjoy your memes, Ben. Is that a podcast, by the way?
I think so.
Sure.
We talked.
Okay. Ben, look at your memes.
I saw the Stark one. Yeah, I agree with the first one. The second one,
a little gay for me.
Yeah, a little gay for me.
Well, Stark, it's not going to suck itself. Here you go, Ben. Here's another one. The answer is bear, by the way. The answer is bear. Thank you for listening to the Black Mind Games podcast. You can listen to us every Thursday on blackmindgames.podbean.com. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app of choice. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.
I don't know. We could talk more about McDonald's. What's the best cheap pizza you can get from a frozen section of a grocery store?
I thought you were going to talk about that McDonald's video that's been circling around of the woman going like, "Look at this shit! It's fucking the Big Mac patty is as thin as a fucking piece of paper."
Oh yeah, yeah. That's depressing.
That's the way that it is.
Who knew that
whenever I
shutting down the world for like a whole entire year was a bad idea? Who knew?
We do live in the darkest timeline.
Yep, and then we elected the worst idiot possible.
I mean, it was either the idiot, the woman who makes people disappear.
No. Ben, you misunderstand what I say. You did it.
And then after that, it was the idiot or the geriatric patient.
Yeah. Like, I like how that's now become undeniable that, like, Joe Biden's brain doesn't work. But, yeah, it's better than up here where we have choices between a wacko, whack job, complete and total whack job, a guy who enables the whack job, another guy who enabled the whack job, and Donald Trump. That's Canadian politics in a nutshell right now.
It's a lot of places.
Oh no, not whack job. I was gonna make a reference to like a video game or a wrestling move or a wrestling character, but I cannot fathom any character named Whack Job. I'm sure they exist.
I mean, people would say The Rock is a whack job now.
Oh, yeah, he's such a he's actually even though he's a successful movie star, he's a poser.
Successful, I would say, is...
I mean, here's the thing. He has money.
He makes money, I guess.
Yeah. That's successful. Like, despite that he's a huge fucking poser, he still has money. So it's like, I guess
it's because he's a brand now. He's not just like a person. His whole shtick is a brand.
Yeah. I do like there's a video of, especially with Moist Critical, pointing out the weird, like, you know, whenever The Rock does advertising for a certain, I think it's for like a restaurant or some shit. He's like, yeah, In-N-Out. He's like, I've never been to an In-N-Out. Oh, it's so good. And then Moist Critical is like, yeah, it's like, you've done this several times before. How do you keep forgetting? Fuck. Like, yeah, he's a huge poser. He's like, he just wants cash.
It's probably because he doesn't actually eat fast food ever. So in between, he doesn't go there for like a couple years, and then he forgets that he's ever been there because he never eats fast food because he has personal chefs.
And I bet, because his life is so full of like adventure and like, you know, doing cool things all the fucking time, eating at it In-N-Out is probably the most smallest detail he doesn't give a fuck about.
The other thing is that you have to keep in mind that most celebrities are giant D-bags. Like,
yeah.
Like look at Oprah. Oprah was seen to be like the fucking queen messiah of like charity, and then she fucking pulled that shit in Hawaii and the other shit she's been pulling recently too. Holy crap, dude! The internet has just exposed all these people.
Oprah was somebody who, like, my mom was always like, God, she's such a fucking bitch. And I'd be like, why? Like, why do you hate her? And she would like always say something stupid, and I'd be like, okay, and move on with my day. Now I'm like, God, Oprah is a bitch, and she has a talking vagina.
Wow, impressive.
Yeah.
Although I do, what was that one episode? No, I'm thinking Rosie O'Donnell, where Rosie O'Donnell showed up on a show of South Park, and then when she was walking from Horizon, walking down a hallway, everyone's like, "Oh my God, there's a monster coming in the room! I'll get the gun!" And then one of the kids is like, "No, that's my aunt, Rosie O'Donnell." He's like, "Oh, that is Rosie O'Donnell."
Yeah, and Rosie O'Donnell's even more of a piece of shit too, apparently.
Also, Ben, I gotta say, I find it really it's been really funny looking down south and then realizing, oh, there's Palestinian protests in Canada now too, full of the same D-bags. It's been really fun watching like the counter protests down south. It's just been so great, amazing. Some would say it's the most funniest thing on the planet Earth, because you're seeing kids just like walk around being like, hey, we're not letting you sleep and shit. It's the dumbest shit in the world. Sorry for bringing that up.
Well, at the very least, they're not in trucks. And having parties.
I saw something about something in Canada's rules are changing for immigrants in one of the provinces, and they're like, this should be everywhere. The post is like, this should be everywhere, and it's like, okay.
Is it BC? Because it's probably BC. BC is also on fire.
It was PEI.
No one cares about PEI. Even PEI doesn't care about PEI.
Nicest places on the planet Earth.
It's the nicest place on the planet Earth, besides that one serial killer. But it's really nice, but it's the hellacious place in the winter. Like, so hellacious. Like, hope you can survive in your house for like about 4 to 5 days, because it's snowed in. Good luck getting out.
Sounds glorious.
Yeah.
Here we are.
I've seen pictures of PEI during the winter, and it's like, holy shit, how do you live there? Also, no jobs. So if you're not a fisherman, then fucking get out.
Yeah. Oh. Shall we start the podcast? Talk it out, dicks. Dicks, pussies, and assholes.
And
you want to talk about dicks, pussies, and assholes? We can talk about dicks, pussies, and assholes all you want.
Oh, fantastic. Well, how about may as well just do the sound off, and then we'll talk about Microsoft.
Where's Josh at the center of the meme?
My life is in fucking shambles.
Oh boy.
Sinking.
Yeah, weren't you supposed to be busy today?
Yeah, and then I noticed the podcast wasn't recording, and then I was like, man, all my plans went up in flames They've been moving around, inconsistent as always. It's great. It's wonderful.
Sorry, buddy.
Nobody realized today was like fucking. Nobody realized today was actually fucking the bullshit from. Yeah.
Mother's Day.
So, sync from 3, 2, 1.
Oh wait, shit. Sorry. Let's do it again.
Sync in 3, 2, 1.